Hey, what's up guys? This is my 525xl here in my bedroom. Just looking at the corals, looking at the fish, looking at life. Now, this is a Saturday afternoon. I just did a water change. I just did a 10-gallon water change in this tank. I do 10 gallons every week. Sometimes I'll let it go 2 weeks, but usually I do it every week. I do RedSea blue bucket. I try to keep my alkalinity like around 8.0 to 9 range. It's usually at 8.4 in this tank. Calcium levels around 445 to 450. Magnesium at this point is about 1300. Trying to drop down to like about 1250. I do dose mag every day. I do dose calcium and alkalinity every day. Now calcium, I dose like about 7 milliliters of calcium each day, and it still keeps me in a range of 445. Alkalinity, I dose, if we go down here to my dosing cabinet, let's see, let me turn this light on here. Now, look at all this spaghetti that you see here. Now you're saying, damn, this guy doses so much shit. Actually, I don't. I just have things just tied in case I actually do need to dose. I'm not dosing potassium. I'm not dosing manganese. I'm not dosing iodide. But I do dose it when I do need to. If I do an ICP test and it says I need to dose a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I can just punch in what I think I need to dose or what it's requiring me for dosing, and I'll dose it. I haven't done an ICP test like in about 4 months now. I don't do it as routinely as I used to. I used to do it like every 2 months or so, but now, because of the fact that everything's doing so well and everything is basically stabilized, and that's what it is, stability is the key, I don't really need to do the ICP testing as often as I need to. If we go here, let me see, if we go right here, I can actually just show you. Let's go to setup program. We'll go to pump 3, that's magnesium, that's 36 millimeters a day, okay? And then if we go to pump 2, which is alkalinity, that's 26 millimeters a day. And then we go to pump 1, which is calcium, that's only 7 millimeters a day. So it's not, the A and B for calcium and alkalinity are not equal. And that's just what's required in this tank. Now, why are they not equal? I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for that. But all I know is that the A part, which is the calcium, is giving me enough to keep it at 445. And the B part, which is alkalinity, is giving me enough to keep it where it needs to be at, which is at the 8.4 range of 8 to 9. So it's at 8.4 right now. At this point, my pH in this tank, being that the lights just activated and everything, 7.9. Now it's gonna go up to probably like about 8.1 to 8.2 is where it usually stabilizes itself at. And that's where it kind of runs throughout the remainder of the day. And you can see it's slowly going up. It wants to go to 7.98, which will soon change to 8.0. And I'm still running this tank on Digital Aquatics Reef Keeper, which is just a monitoring system. I don't have a controller that actually is controlling my devices. Besides it controlling the temperature and, you know, monitoring temperature and monitoring my pH also, I don't have anything else but besides that. Actually, this Digital Reef Keeper is not monitoring pH. It is only monitoring temperature and only has my, you can say, chiller and a few other things connected to it. You can see it's got the lighting system connected to the PC4s. There's 2 of them here. And I am going to upgrade this system to a GHL. I'm not going to go Neptune systems. I unfortunately just hear too many negative things about their equipment just breaking or failing, or not actually giving you the notifications that you should be getting during a time of failure. So, you know, I'm just gonna stick with what I believe is what's needed for my tank. You know, you can go Neptune, you can go GSL, Profilex, you can go whatever you like. On this tank, I still have the RedSea 90s and I still have the Kessel 360x's. These lights have been working great. The RedSea 90s have been giving me enough par to grow coral and to grow SPS. But unfortunately, it's not giving me the par that I need to grow the SPS and to get that nice, beautiful coloration that I would like to see in my corals. So I put the 360x's on this tank because of the fact that I just wanted to see more color. And is it promoting more growth? Maybe, you know. But the RedSea 90s were doing okay in the beginning, but I just wasn't getting what I wanted. And that's the thing with this hobby. You can put more, you can do more to do what you want to get more of what you want. If you want more flow, put more pumps like I did over here. I wanted more flow, but I noticed that when I increased the flow on one side to another, it didn't disturb the sand bed as often as, you know, just putting pumps in the back where it's just shooting all this water out here and it's just getting all this sand bed and stuff. So I put a couple pumps over here and a couple pumps over there, and it's created a nice good flow pattern where the sand bed is basically undisturbed. And I like that. And you can see it stays like that. Now I went with dry rock in this tank. Why go with dry rock and not live rock? Well, I actually got live rock down in the sump. And this live rock is actually old live rock. Old Marshall Islands live rock and stuff. And I got it all up in there. I don't know if you can not see that really, but it's in there. It's in there. And I don't have that much live rock, but I did seed the tank with live rock. I'll keep this light on for a second. So I did seed the tank with live rock with dry rock. Now there is some live rock in here also and stuff, like back there. That's a piece of live rock, straight ocean live rock. That is real ocean live rock in the back right there also. Now it's ocean rock all back here, real live rock. And I put it in this tank. Now this is all dry rock. Dry rock all up here, which is now housing and has all this beautiful encrusting coral growing all over it. Dry rock, I guess it's called the big arch, or by Carib Sea, it's all Carib Sea dry rock. This is all Carib Sea dry rock right here, all on the bottom here, all down here where this torch is lying on. But I don't see anything wrong with dry rock. I know a lot of people are saying, don't buy dry rock, don't buy, oh, I'll never go dry rock again. And I listen to other streamers and I read things negatively about dry rock, but you know, hey, we all go through the ugly side, and I still say even with live rock, you're still gonna go with some sort of ugliness. I've had live rock in the past, and I still have all the rock in my living room tank is, the majority is live rock, and there's still a clusterfuck of just hair algae and all these other nuisance pests and all that stuff growing all in there. So if anything, this is a plus for me to have live rock on the sump system. You know, it's recirculating into the main display, and obviously that's how it works when it comes to having a sump, is recirculation from top to bottom, from bottom to top. And you know, all this good bacteria, all this good stuff is just flourishing all over the rock work, all over, you know, all into the sand bed. It's all these microorganisms that are just working itself, and it's doing so great. So it's a hybrid method that I choose to do. Put live rock in the sump, a little bit here and there in the tank display. Put live sand. I love sand. I can't do bare bottom. I know some people love bare bottom. It's just not for me. I just choose to do live sand. I pour in some live bacteria, try to get the cycle going, you know, and then from there I'll just drop in some corals and drop in some fish. And this tank here, I did a transfer of fish. I had the fish in the exact same day. New water, new sand, new everything. except for the live rock that I put into the sump. That was already seeded and everything, and I put that in there. I let the tank go for like a few hours before I actually put my Soho tang, my blue tang, my yellow tang, and a few other angel fishes that I've had in here before I sold them, before I noticed them starting to pick at the corals once I placed coral in here. And I put them in the same day. Corals, I put in a couple corals the next 3 days. Because I tested the water, everything was fine. The par levels were okay at the moment with the RedSea 90s. So then I dropped in a frag of a PC Rainbow, a frag piece of a, right there, of a Red Planet. Now look at it. He's his own huge colony. Huge, okay? The PC Rainbow is his own huge colony. And I dropped these 2 frags in there 3 days after I started this whole system. Okay, you want to go on this side? They're just growing. Look at the polyp extension. It's good. Now, I have the experience and the understanding to start a system like this. I wouldn't recommend it to a newbie, to a beginner, you know, because situations can probably occur which you may not understand, which you may not be able to understand at the time of what do I need to do next. And you know, I've been in this hobby for over 15 years that I do know and have an understanding on what to do next. I have supplementation, I have other things that I need to do to hold on a second. Hey, stop barking. Kona, Ellie. Sorry about that. Dogs are just going out of control. And somebody's talking to my dogs out there on the front door. They tend to do that every once in a while. And anyways, back to the subject. So, Kona, Ellie, hey, relax. Sorry about that again. Anyways, so, you know, I did have one coral that did not survive. What was surviving, was doing great, was my tort right there. It's a nice, good, solid blue tort coral right there. And it just didn't do well. Like a month ago or a month and a half ago, just bleached out. I don't know why. But there's a frag of him right there, and that is of the same colony of him. And good thing that I did take a little piece out and frag a piece out, but he will grow himself back onto that piece that used to be a colony right there. And there's the remains of him right there, of the last SPS that was growing right there. But I don't know if it's the fish or the crabs or what, but they have gnawed off all the branches, and it is now just like a clump of clay and rock. Anyways, so I'm just saying that I have an understanding with what's going on in my own system, and that's what it is with everybody's tanks. You got to have an understanding. You got to have the research and the knowledge to know what's happening within your own system. There's so many people out there on the YouTube, so many streamers, so many this and that give advice, that say this and say that. All I can say from me to anybody out there into that's learning, that's wanting to have something, you know, in this so-called hobby of ours, is that research. Do your reading. Do your research, understand the mechanisms, understand what's needed to get the cycle going. Because once you create stability, and you got to have patience. Can't do this, you can't rush this, okay? You got to have patience. Just do it right. Just do it right. And then you can have your own, then you'll understand methods of you doing this and you doing that, and you'll be able to say, hey, maybe I can try this and it may go a little faster if I did this approach, or I can do this and it may work if I do this. If you want to try other methods, try other methods. Trial and error, you know. It's how we understand what works and what doesn't work. I've done trial and error. I believe I'm past that. I totally researched the fish. I did research on fish before I actually did research on coral, because I loved the fish first. And then I started getting into coral. And me understanding what fish want and what fish need is probably why I can have surgeon tangs and all these other tangs and copper bands and, you know, damsels and 6-line RedSeas, even having another 6-line RedSea. I got 2 of them in my living room tank, and they pair it up. And some people say, oh no, you can't have a 6-line RedSea, this and that. Well, you know, hey, to each its own. You know, you just have to have an understanding on what is it that these animals need. You know, this tank is not going to be the final tank for me. I plan to go bigger. I plan to put these fish of mine that have been with me for over 8-9 years now into a bigger tank. You know, fish grow, corals grow. I plan to move into a bigger house, and I will see what I can do next with what I have. But for now, I enjoy what I have, and you know, just loving the hobby, understanding the hobby is what keeps you happy in the hobby. All I know is there's a lot of streamers I listen to, like Reef Bum, Reef Builders, American Reef Channel, Rico's Aquarium, Fish of Hex. You know, I listen to people like Mike Paletta, Sanjay, and so many different people out there. You know, Jake Adams is a great person to listen to. It's you know, the guy from Two Little Fishies. You know, there's so many people out there you can learn from. So many people out there you can learn from. You know, there's a Reef Girl out there. You know, there's so many different streamers that you can listen to. Miles Holly Reefing. You know, Melev's Reef. There's so many people out there that give great advice. Those are the people I like to listen to, because those people right there have more of an understanding than all these other people. And I'm not saying there's not other people out there that don't have an understanding with reefing, but you know, I like to do what I like to do, and I already know what works. I'm not going to chime into these other YouTuber streams and ask questions on what should I do or what shouldn't I do and stuff, because I already have an idea of what needs to be done and stuff. But I love it when I hear other people actually chiming in and trying to have an understanding and stuff, because once you get through that what should I do phase and what if phase and this and that, and then you're going to have more of an understanding, and you're just going to be stable yourself in the mind, because stability in the mind is what creates the patience. You know, being impatient creates instability, and that's all on the person. That's you. So just know that patience is the key. Understand what kind of equipment, what kind of things that you're going to need to run your fish tank and your system and your reef and your coral, and your animals and everything else are going to just be happy. But just know this, you don't want to go the cheapest route out either. You want to go with stable, reliable equipment, things that are going to work for you, not just for temporarily, but for the long run. You want to have an understanding that these pumps I've heard that are going to work well are going to stay working well. You know, just these lights are going to stay working for me for this long of time and stuff. You know, we're all on a budget. This hobby is money, but just try to make it work, and try to make it work that's going to be, you know, suitable for yourself, and it's not going to hurt your wallet in the long run. Because sometimes people get out of this hobby because of the failures of not only what they can't do themselves, but the equipment that they have running their tanks also. Because when the equipment fails, everything else can crash with it. So me, I have a lot of backups to everything. I have backup heaters, I have other things, you know. And if I can take a little walk over here, let's see over here. You know, hi Kona. And even in my filing cabinet, okay, I got stuff that filters for my RO unit. Let's see here. I got heaters, extra heaters. I got 1, 2, 3 extra heaters. You know, just got plumbing equipment. If we go over here, you know, I got all this other stuff, and I got Triton tests. I got 3 of them on standby, ready to go, and you know, I got so many things just ready to go. And here's the office tank, looking great, thriving. Now this system operates in a different way. It's got a calcium reactor, but you know, that's what I'm saying. Just got to have an understanding. Now, if we go over here, yeah, look at this toy collection. I got to freaking put this somewhere. I got backup batteries right there, you know. I got equipment. I got another, you know, carbon tank for my calcium, and this is full, ready to go. And then I got all this other equipment. I got a brand new pumps. I got brand new pumps on standby. Not even open. Look at that, sealed. Because you never know if you're going to need some more pumps. I have an Ecotech pump right here. I have a lot of things and stuff like that on standby. I even have a brand new chiller ready to go in case the chiller doesn't work or one of my chillers fail. So yeah, I've got BRS TV up on there. Tanks over here doing well. You can see thriving. They're doing good. Hi, Ellie. And yeah, things are just doing well. So, you know, going back into the 525 and just saying that, just do your research, have fun with this hobby, do great with this. You'll do great with this hobby. You know, just don't hate it because you're having frustration on not understanding what went wrong. That's what makes it great, is having that understanding so you know what you did wrong, so you can next time not do it or go in the direction of you doing something wrong. You can say, hey, no, that's not going to work. Even though guys saying this and that on this channel or whatever and stuff like that, no, I'm not going to do that. Because you don't need to do trial and error on your tank. If you've been through that situation, then don't go through that situation again. Anyways, you know, maybe I didn't word it out correctly, but pretty sure you guys know what I'm saying and stuff. So I'm going to be working on my girlfriend's tank. She's got a nice 200, what is it, RedSea Reefer XL. And I'm going to help her get that set up. We're going to frag out a lot of little frags and zoas and stuff like that on my tanks. And I'm going to help her, you know, save money. I'm going to help her save money and stuff. Because I'm not one to sell frags for lots of money or this and that. I will be giving PC rainbows out for like $10 a frag, or even Walt Disney frags for like $20 a frag. If you know, why give them out for like hundreds of dollars? My corals are going to be growing. I'm not going to have room for these guys one day. They're going to be overgrowing this tank very quickly. And honestly, it's growing too fast. I wish they were kind of slowing down a little bit more and stuff. Some of these corals are starting to grow a little too quickly. They're getting big fast. Already this green Montipora, this Monty cap in the back is already shading out some of the zoa colonies in the bottom there and stuff. And I'm going to have to start trimming him down. So already I'm going to have to start fragging, and soon I'm going to start doing that. But I'm not one to sell frags. I'm not going to make this hobby into turn this hobby into a business. I'm going to keep it as a hobby. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm nothing more. I just love looking at this stuff. I just walking into your home, just seeing the ocean all around and in all rooms and stuff for me is beautiful. And in my next house, and I'll see where I go with what tanks that I have and stuff, or what I can put into place in my new spot. But other than that, this is what I have now, and I'm gonna let this grow out. And you know, I plan to just give people Walt Disney's and all these other high-end corals for a very, 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 very cheap price, if not for free. All right, you guys take it easy. Peace out, and hopefully I didn't talk too much. All right, take it easy, guys.